Can you hear a pug snoring next to me?
No,
Okay.
but that would
Because
be
I have literally all my dogs in here, and that you may hear him snoring.
our conversation today is with Bri Murphy. She's been a Struck Club member for 5 years. She's originally from Chicago, has been in retail, brand, and marketing, and now in fitness full time. She's a studio owner and partner multiple times over, from Naples and Bonita Springs, Florida, to Fort Collins, Colorado. She teaches and is a partner currently at Reps and Restore in Fort Collins. She's been a Lululemon ambassador and so much more. Bri, welcome to the Struck Club pod.
Man, well, this is so exciting. I'm just very excited to be a part of this. I feel like we have all of these normal conversations all the time, so it's just finally that we get to put it on a screen and people get to actually listen to it. So, Bri Murphy previously have had two other last names, I have past lives. We never talk about, our past lives all the time, but I've been a Schmidt and a Casey, and now I'm Bri Murphy. I'm a mom first and foremost. And at my core, I am somebody who believes that movement is medicine and it gives people permission to become more of themselves. And I fully lean into community more than I lean into fitness. So I actually feel weird saying that like I'm a fitness professional because that's fully not the reason that I do this. I don't ever bring up calories or watts or anything like that. I don't think that the people that come to my classes come to, I mean, yes, a workout, but really not a workout. Maybe it's confidence they're looking to gain. Maybe it's joy. Maybe it's connection. I will say that from the beginning, music has always been the number one thing, and how I can create an experience based on my music knowledge and my life in the entertainment realm, I guess. So yeah.
Why did you decide to start teaching? What was the
Mm.
entree into this space that we're in?
Well, having babies. So let's be real, right? So I had two boys. I breastfed for like 4 years and not each separately. And so I actually was the girl that when people were like, oh, we should go to the gym, I looked them dead in the face and I was like, I will never work out.
No
Never. Like
kidding.
I will never be the person to work out. Don't want it. Don't want to go to the gym. I had been to gyms. I always felt like, you walk into a big box gym and you're like, this is terrifying. I don't know what that giant machine does. I don't know how to work that. I'm going to look stupid. Somebody's going to, say something to me because I don't know what I'm doing. And so I just was super fearful of like a gym atmosphere at all. And I remember I went to my first spin class. And it was at a rec center here in Colorado. And I about died. I threw up in my towel. I almost passed out. I had to get off the bike and lay up against the back wall. And they were like, just take it, if you feel like you're going to pass out, just like take a moment. And I remember looking at my friend and I was like, I will never do that ever again. Like, screw this. And that's when spin was like, really only you're going on a flat road and you're climbing and there's really no choreography, there's really no like beat driven movement. It was like focused on your imagination and hey, you're riding this flat road up the mountain and so it just was not my thing. Fast forward, I had gone to a cycle bar class here in Fort Collins and I was like, like I almost died. My butt hurt so bad. I felt like I couldn't do it. And I became very quickly addicted to just having a space for myself, right? And motherhood, you get so lost in being a mom that you're like, oh, I have all these tasks and I have to keep this human alive. And they're like me, there's no me in it. Um, and so I started going to, this studio and I went there for about 4 years and they would always say, like, oh, you should be a coach. And then fast forward, I went through a divorce and it was the hardest time of my life. And I was there in the studio and they all went through with me. And it was just really interesting how all of these complete strangers I felt were more supportive to me than like people that I knew on a day-to-day basis. And it was
Mm.
like my real first um I guess, step into like a fitness community, right? Because I had created communities in my past life before. Um, I own my own boutique, clothing boutique, right? Where I trained women across the country. We had our own little, it was MLM company, right? And I had about 150 women underneath me, and we, grew this brand. So I had that community, but the community that I felt in fitness was just so different. Um, and so fast forward, divorced, I was remarried. During that time, I couldn't even afford a gym membership, but then COVID happened and I rented a bike from that spin studio so that I could just like get back into it. And again, they were like, hey, you should be teaching this. You should be teaching this. I did my first tryout and I have never been so nervous for something in my entire life, ever. And I'm used to performing in front of people. I've sang in front of thousands of people. I would talk, motivational speaking. And I was terrified and I did not make it through my first audition. They were like, no, we're going to go ahead and just say no. Like, it's not. And I was like, okay. And I realized when I got up there for that audition that I wasn't so much focused on what the workout was, but I was focused on how I was motivating people and like the message and the feeling that I was trying to create in the room. And that was more important to me than having the most beautifully choreographed, perfect flow through everything that I was doing, right? Fast forward to Florida, another studio asked me to try out. I decided to open my own. So I opened my own studio.
That's a
And
huge jump. Just
yeah,
a huge difference in, you could audition for a place or open
hmm
a whole business,
hmm
whole brand of your own.
yeah. I mean, I think like when you're going to studios, it's easy to see the things that you're like, I like that. And as a previous business owner, you're like, I like that. I don't like that. I don't like that. I like that. Right. And so there was this thing where my business mindset, when I'm going to these studios, I'm like, wow, I love how they're doing that. And so I feel like I give so much credit to every studio that I ever went to, even if there were things that I was like, I don't like how they're doing that. I learned so much from observing. And I'm still that person that I love to like observe and learn from other people. Um, but I knew that I wanted to create a community where it truly was like everybody from any background ever could show up. I don't care if you had the most expensive clothing. I don't care if you had plastic surgery. I don't care, you don't have to fit this mold. Like, and I didn't have that where I lived. And I wanted to create that. And so my visionary self was just like, hey, one day I'm going to find this company that's selling their entire studio. I'm going to book a airline flight. I'm going to get a moving truck and I'm going to bring everything back. And I did it in a matter of 4 days.
Wow.
And then yeah, I pitched the studio to it was an outdoor studio at first, right? We were in this big outdoor auditorium space and I was like, "Oh, we live in Florida, like we should be outdoors. Like there's literally the sky is the limit. Like why wouldn't we?" And it was such a beautiful, cool exploratory time in my life. Like I learned a lot from that. So yeah, I mean, really, I am I guess my vehicle of like getting into fitness because I had mentors and coaches that I really loved. That I would go to their classes and I would pick up things from them, but I didn't have a mentor of just like one person being like, "Hey, I'm going to teach you everything." Right. And I want you to succeed. It was more like, here's the secret, but I'm not going to tell you. But
Mm.
if you observe well enough, you'll figure it out. And so I kind of took that as like, all right, maybe that's where I'm supposed to be. Maybe that's what I'm supposed to be doing. And here I am.
So starting classes outdoors,
Hmm.
taking Empower, having an indoor, like a full on studio component.
Yep.
Now at Reps and Restore.
Hmm. Yeah.
Tell me about all these transitions. Like,
Wild. Yeah, it has been a roller coaster to say the very least. I think the outdoor studio was amazing, but then rain season hit in Florida and hurricane
Ah,
season, and
that
you're like,
happens.
oh, how am I going to maintain a business outside where people are signed up for a class? You know, you have 30 people signed up for a class, and then boom, it rains, and hey guys, we can't do this because there's a lightning, there's lightning out. And then you can't really delay it, right? Because you have to be very respectful of people's time in that.
Totally.
But ultimately I started it at that place because my son plays soccer. So I was like, look at all these moms sitting around. We have nothing to do. I'm going to give them something to do. Why not? In your mind, you think, oh, they're all going to be like, yeah, let's do this. But then they're all like seeing me with silent disco headphones because you had a noise ordinance, so all they hear is me screaming, like, you got this. And so, yeah, that's when I moved it inside. We moved to the next town over, Bonita Springs, which is very up and coming. I saw like the vision. I knew exactly what I wanted it to be, but it is very much a tourist town.
Mm-hmm.
Naples is. So you have seasons where people are there, you know, you have 300,000 people in town, and then off season you have 30,000. So you really are marketing to those 30,000 people that are staying there. And people would walk into my studio and they'd be like, oh yeah, you could totally tell you're from Colorado, right? And I was like, well, what does that mean? They were like, oh, well, you have mushrooms and flowers and stuff, like all of this all over the walls. Um, and I was like, oh, and so I just think like I always felt like my studio Empower was supposed to be in Colorado, but I loved my community there. Like those humans. Like I had people from so many different backgrounds, and it changed my life. Like getting to know people, so many immigrants that were like they're from Cuba or Colombia or Mexico, and like learning different languages and doing Latin rides all the time. Like that is not how I grew. I'm from Chicago originally, right? Like it's just not how I grew up. And it was just this eye-opening experience of, letting people in. And then towards the end of my time with Empower, I wanted to come back to Colorado. I mean, truly, it came down to like, if I'm being completely honest, I got really heartbroken by somebody that I let very close to me into my business. And I felt like I was being put on this like chopping block. And I was like, what is happening? Right? Like, that's never been my intent. Um, or would I ever hurt anybody to any length, right? And I was like, I just feel like this business should be in Colorado. Like I just felt this like incredible draw to leave Florida. And my dog's snoring next to me.
What's your name? Cutie
This
pie?
is Frank. I'm Franklin. Oh, so sleepy. Um, and
Oh.
so, I packed up, and within a month I closed my studio. I put my house on the market, and I found a house in Colorado, put my kids back in school here. And that's where we had moved to Naples from Fort Collins, right? So we came back here, and I didn't think I'd own a business again. I didn't. I was like, I don't know if I have that in me. Like I was absolutely heartbroken after we closed Empower. I started like a satellite studio is what I would call it here because I had like 15 of my bikes left. And I started it in the back of another person's studio. And I was like, nope, not going to work. Like he doesn't get it. He doesn't see the vision. And literally, I think the same week that I made the decision that like, hey, I don't think I'm going to continue on with like a satellite studio, I ended up walking into Reps and Restore because some other fitness coach had come in, and she's like, you need to come to the studio. There's a spin studio. And I was like, what? Like, I had no idea this was here. And they had only been open for 6 months.
Wow.
And I walked in, and apparently that day, I had no idea this was one of the owners that was working that day. And I walked right up to him, and I literally think I cornered him for 3 hours. And I was like, let me tell you how I'm going to make your business I'm going to grow your business. I'm going to do this. Like, this is what you need. You need community. Like, it was wild. Like, I walked in, and it was just a place that, like, it was so beautiful. Like, when I walked into Reps and Restore, I was like, hey, this is my dream studio. It's like you walk in and you have like cold plunges and saunas. So, like, this restorative side. And then you walk in and you have like this very beautifully put together spin studio. And then behind that you have a strength. I was like, oh my God, it's literally everything, all I've ever wanted in one place. And I cornered Dom, one of the owners, and I was just like, let me tell you everything. Like, I'm going to change your life. And he could have easily been like, this chick is absolutely insane. Get her out of here. She's never allowed again. Um, but thankfully he left that conversation, was like, dude, we need to have her. And I put my money where my mouth is, like I just went in and I was me. And so I hate to say like I created it, because it is a community effort, but I feel like I drew in a sense of community into a place that needed it really, really bad. Because you don't develop and create such a beautiful space and then not capitalize on it and allow people a safe place to land. And so that's how Reps and Restore happened. And yeah, so in May this year, they asked me to become partner, and I of course said, let's do it. So here I am, one of 5 partners of Reps and Restore now.
Yeah, I think it is a really rare story. I'm not sure I've heard it many times, if any times. Somebody who
Mm-hmm.
starts teaching at a boutique studio and then is asked to be a partner to the
Yeah.
studio.
Yeah.
And so I suspect, because this is obviously a really strong theme throughout your story, that this idea of community, this vision of building community that you have, and a method, and just the things that you do, the details that you put into it, and the fact that you haven't seen that at many other places, and you're the one being like, hey, here's what we need to do and how we need to do it. It's not just a space that you have, it's
Yeah.
not just a paid subscription membership that creates a community. I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious about your take on this idea that you have. Can you help paint a picture for those who are like, oh yeah, well, it's just like a group of people, right? Maybe a locale, maybe, oh, my neighborhood is my local
Yeah.
community. Tell us a little bit more about what that means to you and the things that you're talking about, that you're doing, that you're walking the walk in creating and building community.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think like in the fitness industry, like that's what everybody always goes to, is like, join our community, right? Like it's almost like overused. And it doesn't grab the definition of it to me. So I think that like my goal has never been to create the hardest class in town ever. My goal has been to create the room where people feel seen, the room where people feel safe enough to be like the biggest versions of themselves, right? Not where they feel like they have to shrink or be like the person next to them. I want them to let go, right? I want when somebody's in a space with me in my studio to dance like nobody's watching, right? Like I always say, like, you look stupid if you dance and you look stupid if you don't dance. So what are we going to do? We're going to dance, right? Because we all know what it's been like. You see the guy standing on the side and they're just like, okay, you look stupid because you're not dancing, but you're too nervous to go out and dance. So I always give people that extra boost, right? And I want them to get in, I guess after class, like after they come to my class, I want them to get into their car with that like post class high, like I always call it the spin high, where you're like, oh my God, I feel amazing. And I want them to carry that into the rest of their life. That is how I feel like I create community. And as insignificant or crazy as that sounds, I coach energy before I coach fitness.
Mm.
I I know that that probably sounds backwards, but it's true, right? Yes, I coach fitness. Yes, I will teach you how to press and tap all day long. And, I will teach you a 32 count combo and I will mess it up with you the entire time. We will sway, we'll do all of the things, right? Like I love a choreograph class where everybody's on point. But more than anything, I'm creating and coaching energy with people. I want people to remember how a room makes them feel, and not how many intervals they did, or like how many calories they burned, or what their performance stats were. In fact, we actually just took out our stats that we sent to people and we were like, hey, this is a rhythmic riding studio. And like, what matters more to us is how you feel when you leave the room than what your stats are. And I know that that is super backwards. A lot of studios are like, yeah, you're the top in the class right now. Look at you up on the screen. I turn all the TVs off. I don't want anybody to see anything. In fact, people get very uncomfortable with their name up there. But then you have other people that are like, I live off of the stats. Then maybe we're not the studio for you. And that's totally okay with me. I spend a lot of time as a coach thinking about like the emotional journey that I'm creating for people. I reach out to my people in my community a lot. I follow everybody on social media. I'm always commenting and following along on their lives. Like, as something as stupid as like, I have a girl who is a surgeon. She does surgery on horses, and she got her
Wow.
nails done. Yeah, right. And she's like, "Oh, I got my nails done for the last time, in 6 months because I'm back into surgeries." And so when I saw her, I grabbed her hand and I was like, "Oh my God, you got your nails and they're so cute." And she was like, I was like, yeah, I saw on Instagram. And then I was talking to her about it. And I just think like those little things that, for lack of better words, if you just give a shit, like
Mm.
really, I give a shit about every single person that walks through the studio. And I want to get to know something about them. Do I need to know the depths of their entire stories? No. Am I there if they want to show it? Yes, because truly part time as a coach and me taking them on an emotional journey, I'm a therapist too. I want to create a space that like if somebody comes to me and was like, Bri, I was bawling during your Empower track. I am like, yes, let it go. Like I've done my job. Because I think that there's a safety in that. There's a safety of like letting go and just like feeling your shit, but also in the 45 minutes to an hour long class, like letting go of everything else that you have to do is just like the most incredible, freeing thing that you can do as a human being, right? There's so much that we're constantly having to worry about. So really like that's the basis of me building a community. It's me building permission. That's really it. Like I don't teach workouts. I create permission. I create permission for people to be loud and for them to dance, to fail, to cry, to have joy, to be angry, to take up space. And so, yeah, I think that is truly how I've created community. And that is what I want people to feel when they walk in.
That's super powerful. You have this key term that I know of and I've seen in the rides that you have featured, and I have seen in the rides featured by instructors that you have mentored and trained, called the Empower track. For those who haven't heard about or like don't know what that is, can you explain?
Yeah. So here's my favorite thing about Struct Club. So I'm going to plug Struct Club
You
big
don't
time
have
right
to.
now.
That's not what it's about. But
I don't care, but I'm going to because here's the thing. When you start being a coach, right? Like I remember when I started coaching and it was like I was creating a class every single time. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, like I got to get to this moment. I'm going to do an arms track. And then after my arms track, I'm going to give him a little bit of a breather to like, feel some shit. But realistically, I wasn't creating an experience. So what I wanted to do is like, how can I name this experience that I'm trying to create for people? Well, my studio was called Empower. Um, it was more of I want to put a song in every single class that I put a lot of thought into. And when I say that I put a lot of thought into it, it's through conversations with people in my studio or a conversation that I had with somebody before class or after class one day. I take everything that people tell me and I listen. Um, and so I will put something that not only I can connect to, but they connect to. And I give them an entire song of maybe I have a message or something to say about it, or maybe I don't. And maybe the music is just enough and they just need that 4 minutes to just let it out. And so I give people the space during every Empower ride where they get to just feel and to like be whatever they need to be. Like music is truly like the heartbeat of everything that I do. Of everything that I do. So if I hear a song or something truly deeply connects with me, I think that it's an opportunity for me to show my human to them, and be vulnerable and let maybe that song speak for itself. And that's what the Empower song is. So yeah, any of my coaches that use Struct, you'll see almost every single one of them have an Empower track on them. And yeah, it's just a moment for people to connect to themselves or disconnect from themselves, really.
And do you coach during the track, or is it like what is your coaching approach during the song?
So it depends, right? I put a lot of emphasis on that song. Like, all right, we're gonna do weights, and then boom, I'm gonna hit them with the song. So, um, one that I play that everybody who's ever taken my classes regularly will I play Lily Miola Daydream, and it's about a girl who was a waitress, and she was, she had this daydream, and that it basically it's okay to take risks to chase after the thing that you love. And um I have played that a million and one times, and I'm very vulnerable during it. Like there's times I have bawled my eyes out, but I always look for a track that I can talk. Yes, I can talk. I can, be like, hey, so and so is going through this. Like the person next to you is going through something that you don't know anything about. Maybe there's somebody in this room that just had a miscarriage. Maybe there's somebody in this room that has X, Y, and Z, and I never point who those people are out. But I think it's an opportunity for people to really connect with their community. One I love to play too is Unwritten. That one's a great one because I get everybody singing, and I'm like, I can sing.
The Natasha
Um,
Bedingfield one, right?
oh yeah, yeah. And it's like you always feel like if you've been on this like low, or like there's just been a lot of shit happening in the world, and you're like, let me put on Unwritten, and then I watch people literally grabbing each other's hands, and they're just like singing their hearts out, and it's like people deserve that space to connect. So yes, sometimes I do coach, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I'm like, I'm just going to take this mic away and you guys just listen, and I'll get on a bike next to somebody and I will ride with them. It's an opportunity for physical touch for me too. Like, not everybody's going to like physical touch in the room, but I'll go up and I'll grab somebody's hand, and like, I know who is hurting or who is going through something. And that is an opportunity for me to really love on them and to give them the space to like let it out.
I want to hear more about another key term, big word that you brought up in just this last bit was experience, creating an
Mm-hmm.
experience. It's not something that you necessarily knew how to do from the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
But what would you say, fast forward to today, if someone were
Mm-hmm.
to come into your class, or if someone who hasn't been before, you're like letting them know what to expect, how would you describe the Bri experience?
So I will give you exactly how I introduce every single one of my classes, especially when I have new riders. People come in and they're absolutely terrified, right? I remember being you. So I walk in, I will set them up on their bikes the entire time getting to know them. I go up on the stage and I say, there's three rules in my class. Number one, and then everybody will say, have fun. Number two, shake your ass. Any single time that you have an opportunity to shake your ass, you shake it. Number three, don't take yourself too seriously. You're here to have fun. That's all I want for you. If anything doesn't feel right in your body, you know your body better than I do. Take a seat, take a breather. Don't feel like you have to be doing every single movement. If it feels like we're doing the Macarena the entire time, it's okay. You can leave your hands here. We do everything to the rhythm. So you're just going to hear me say things like right, left. That's the direction. That's the foot that we're using. You can follow all the leaders in class. I always ask my leaders within the community to be leaders that they wanted to follow. And throughout class, the majority of the time, I'm going to tell people, like, yes, you can. Because we all know when we're riding and going 120 out of a saddle, and we're like, what is going on with all of these psychos? They don't even look like they're breathing. Like, what's going on? Like, I need somebody to say, yes, I can. I can do this. Like, you're okay. And also giving people permission, once again, we'll say that word, permission to sit down and to do whatever is right for them, and that nobody in the room is looking at them. Nobody. And I say that a lot in class. I think that a lot of times you're in class and you think, oh man, I messed that up. And yeah, everybody's looking at me. Exactly. I'm like, literally nobody's looking at you. You are looking at yourself in the mirror, and I am looking at myself in the mirror. And like if you mess up, I may notice, but I'm not gonna like be mad at you for it. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I screw up too. It's fine. No big deal. Everybody's super supportive in that room. So yeah, I just want everybody to feel comfortable. I'm like, listen, I know you're terrified. Some of them are talking to me, they're like, and I'm like, I know you're terrified. There's no reason to be. What's the worst that could happen? You know?
It is
I'm not going to bring you
terrifying.
up on stage. I'm not going
I
to bring
think,
you up on stage and make you teach the class.
well, you could.
I could. Oh,
I don't
and I
know. Have you
do
ever done it
sometimes.
before? Have you ever invited somebody up? I
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like I've seen some videos on.
Yeah, I don't do it on the first class, but I do bring a lot of my riders up there. Yeah, and I don't tell them ahead of time, which is always like the most fun because I'm like, hey, you're coming up on the podium. And they're like, and I'm like, yeah. And then they get up there and they crush it. So, I mean, you got to sometimes like people got to push you out of your comfort zone. People have had to push me out of my comfort zone more times than I can count, you know? So, why not give other people the other push? Almost every single one of my coaches, in fact, every single one of my coaches on my team were riders of mine that I saw something in that I was like, I see you. You got this. I have two more right now um, that I'm like, we're doing this next month. Right. And that's why I train people. If I see that I don't look for like, are you the most perfect, do you the most perfect form? Do you understand all of, no. You know what I look for? If you are passionate and you love this shit. Do you love it? Do you love it? Do you love it so much that you would do this job for free? Yep. I did it for free for years because I owned my own business. You think I paid myself? Not a single time. Not a single time, right? And so that's what I look for in people, like truly passion.
Maybe this flows into the way that you teach instructors as well as you're mentoring them and getting them ready for the podium. But I want to make sure that we cover the music side of the Brie
Mm-hmm.
experience because I know that's so important to you. How do you come up with the inspiration for the songs that end up making it to your class? Maybe there's an
Mm-hmm.
element to where you place the songs. You
Mm-hmm.
talked about a couple of Empower songs
Yeah.
specifically, but overall,
Typically, like when I'm creating a playlist, um, it's all a feeling, right? And I actually just made this joke recently of like all of my female counterparts that are coaches. I'm like, I always listen to what they're playing in class and then try to guess what phase of their period they're on. Because
this is a, I
it's
think
like,
this is a very
oh,
real
she's
thing.
got a sad, kind of a sad, really dark playlist this week. She must be in her luteal phase. Like, what's happening, you know? Um, but no, it's wild because sometimes like I'll create a playlist on a Monday night, and I wake up and I'm teaching a class at 6:30 in the morning on Tuesday, and I open my playlist and I'm like, nope, it's not it. It's not my feeling. And I love to create a roller coaster. So majority of my rides, it's going to feel like a roller coaster. Like I'm going to ease you into it. Like we're just going to ease in. I'm going to keep the choreography really simple. I know that I'm saying anybody who's ever taken a class with me is going to hear this and be like, you ease people in, you psycho. No, you don't. I feel like I do. I try to. I
By
don't
my
know that I
standard,
believe
we
in
ease in.
warm ups. Yeah. Like warm ups aren't really a thing for me. Like warm up is like buckle up. But yeah, so like the first two songs, I'm easing people in and then we just go for it. Or if I'm in a mood, I'm be like, all right, guys, we're going in for it right away. Boom, first song. And I'm taking them through this journey of like highs and lows. I try to typically stay in the same genre. I don't really like to genre bounce. So yeah, I'm all over the place. I really don't have like a rhyme or reason for me. It's just like this feeling. And then I know, song 5 or 6, I'm going to start making them really climb a mountain. And like song 5, people are climbing a mountain and I'm making them work for it, right? Like I better see their legs barely keeping the beat. And then the next song, I'm going to have them just ride their asses off. They're going to go, as fast as they possibly can in or out of the saddle. And then we're doing the whole thing over again. So again, roller coaster is it for me. That's usually like my go-to. People I like to throw them off every once in a while. Instead of like arm weights, I'll do resistance bands, and then just like really burn their arms out. But yeah, as far as musicality, like I'm kind of all over. When I first started as a coach, pop was really easy for me because I knew it all, right? And I grew up with it. And throwback rides and like 90s and 2000s, like that was my comfortability when I first started coaching because I knew it and I would know where a beat would drop. I would understand it. But as I have grown into being a coach, I can hear any song and know exactly what count it's on, where the beat's going to drop. Like my musicality has just clicked in tenfold. So I do lean more into, I would say, like EDM these days, but I love a good remix. Like, give me a good remix with a good beat. Recently started doing dubstep here and there, but people are like, you know?
How do you go about your discovery process? I think for a lot of us instructors, if not, I don't know, all of us, the
Hmm.
music curation piece and
Hmm.
even before that, the discovery piece all
Hmm.
together is a total time suck. A lot of it is very joyful and
Hmm.
willing, and we like to do that, of course. But what are your tips and tricks for discovering your next big song?
Anytime I hear a song, I mean, that's how, once you're a coach for this long, you just start listening to music to really like know if you can play it in class or not. But actually, like if in my day-to-day life, I love listening to like indie music. Love just like a really soft ballad. Like I was a singer in my past life, love like easy, just like soulful, funky stuff. Um, Now my discovery is discover weeklies on Spotify. If I hear something that I like, boom. A lot of times I'll listen to songs you may like, and then I'll just let it go, and I'll have it playing in the background while I'm doing something, and I'm like, oh, I like that one. Boom. Now a lot of my people send me music, but I will tell you, I absolutely get into music funks, which we love and hate algorithms for those reasons, where you find, after time of like Discover Weekly or something, you're stuck in like, oh my God, if I have to listen to one more dubstep step song, I don't want to hear that. Like, give me something with like soul or like anything. So yeah, mine is very intentional, but I also get into these music lulls where I am like, I don't have anything new to give you. And I think as a new coach, I thought, and I do like to do this still, like I want to create an experience, a new experience every single class. I don't want to reuse music. I don't like to reuse music, especially like the same exact playlist over and over. I don't want to do it because, again, we go back to I'm creating an experience and I'm not creating a class. I can't be excited or have that like energy of excitement for a class that I've done 10 times in a row. That's not exciting to me. What's exciting is like, I put together and I choreographed this brand new class, and this is how I'm making a combo out of this part of the song. That lights my soul on fire, right? It's the creative in it. Um, but I've given myself permission, and I've recognized now, as a coach that's been in the industry for a while, that it's okay to repeat playlists because you're the only one that knows that. Yes, you're going to have people that come to every single class and they're like, "Didn't you play that last week?" And you're like, "Yep." They're like, "Oh my God, you could do that one every single week and I love it." And you're in yourself like, "Oh my God, seriously, it was so hard on
Huh?
myself because I couldn't come up with something else." And they want to listen to it 10 times more. And also like repeating music is it's okay because guess what? People are comfortable with repetition. That's how people learn to do this. They learn in fitness by, oh, I know this song. I know exactly what to expect. When people expect things, they know what's coming. And when they know what's coming, they're more comfortable. So, yeah, I think as a new coach, give yourself permission to reuse playlists, but just don't do it all the time. And as far as the discovery, be open to like when you're in the grocery store listening to something. I'm listening for music everywhere. Like a song on Instagram, a reel pops up, and I'm like, oh, I like that. Now I want to listen to the whole song, right? It's everywhere. It's just you have to be willing to listen. Movies. I'll be like listening to a movie and I'm like, oh, I like the song. Who is that?
Definitely. Are there any crazy stories from class where you're
Yeah.
like, this is unforgettable?
I've had a lot, actually. I've had a lot.
That's my wager that you've had a lot.
Mhm. One of my craziest things that happened in class is we were vibing so hard this one class, and we were all like swaying. And this girl swayed so hard, she took the bike with her and fell over, and the bike landed on top of her. And then, of course, all of us were like, "Oh my God, are you okay?" And she's sitting there like laughing hysterically. And I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna get sued. This is gonna be horrible." And she literally just got back up, picked the bike up, and continued on with class. But I remember just being absolutely terrified that I was getting sued, she was going to be hurt. And then, yeah, I mean, it was, and also at the time, our tent, we were had a lease, but our neighbor didn't like the sound in our building. So we had to use the headphones. So those are so immersive that you literally hear nothing other than just like you are in it, you know? And so nobody heard the falling of the bike. It just went and she like landed on the bike next to her. So yeah, that one was crazy. The second scariest crazy one was we had all of our bikes professionally maintained and they forgot to put the crank arm screw back in.
No.
Yeah. Like, okay, listen, as like a spin coach or rider, you're constantly thinking about the worst thing that could possibly happen. Like, you're gonna press and you're gonna like, mine is, I'm gonna press, I'm gonna knock my teeth out, or like, I'm gonna slip my hand off and I'm just gonna fall, or like, I'm gonna fall and my leg's gonna keep spinning. And I had a brand new member who had never done spin before, and the crank arm falls off and her foot's still attached to it, like in the middle of class. And I was like, oh, I was absolutely mortified. I was just more because you're like a small boutique fitness studio and you're like, I just spent all of this money to have all of these like taken care of. And this is okay, go see, and this is what's happening. So, yeah, so those were crazy. And then I had somebody literally throw up and just continue on with class, riding her bike. Just keep going. Yeah, I mean, I've had a lot. Yeah, I've had a lot. Where a new coach would be like, oh my God, I can't recover from that. I am the queen at just recovering from like crazy things happening. Music going, we've all had it. The music completely goes out, the mic goes out. The lights stop working. We one night had like a crazy lightning storm and the power went out and then the floodlights came on in the room and all the sound turned off. Like we had no power, we had nothing. And you just roll with it, and it's like, how serious do you need to take it? Like, how serious is it? Like, it's okay, it's like a fitness class, and you're just hanging out with your best friends. Okay, we can't finish it in this room, how do we finish it somewhere else? Like, I always adjust, and it's never something that's like debilitating for me, because what the hell else are you gonna do, stop and be like thinking about it for the next 5 years of your life?
Yeah, no
Because
thanks.
we all know as coaches, we say things on that podium, on the mic, that you think about for years after.
Did I really say that? Did I really
I was
say
like,
that? But
I'll
that
call
was
myself out for
good.
it in the moment. I'm like, yeah, I did. Yep, that just came out of my mouth. Uh-huh. I think something that I didn't really mention is that like every playlist should tell a story. And that if you teach your classes as a storyteller versus a fitness instructor, everybody's going to walk away from every single class with an experience versus I just went to a class. I just left class. Like, dude, I just left the most amazing thing I've ever done in my entire life. And I don't know how to explain to you, right? That's the thing where you're like, I don't know how to explain to you that that just wasn't just a spin class, right? Like, that's the feeling everybody should leave with. And the best way to do that is to create a story with every single class that and I've heard that I do well at that. And I think like if we're talking about advice for new instructors, like we all have people that we look up to. And as I was saying earlier, there's bits and pieces that I've taken from every single person, but I'm never trying to be just like somebody. There's that's so inauthentic to me, and you have to lean into who you are, and everyone will be able to tell when you are doing something because you're trying to be somebody else or when you are authentically doing it because it's you. People know, and people know when you're scared. Um, Preparation builds confidence. That's my favorite thing about Struct Club is that I can prepare for everything. I don't have to go into a class having that like anxiety of like, okay, I have to memorize this song, this song, this song. I literally don't have to do that. And this has been the biggest tool for me because I can be prepared for every single thing, but also I'm creating this experience and I can tell myself, like, if I forget, because we all go stupid in the middle of a class and have no idea what our message is trying to be sometimes. Like,
What are you talking
I have,
about? What are you talking
yeah,
about?
I was like, man, when I was making this, I felt this, you know? I could put that in the notes and be like, remember when you felt like that? So, but yeah, preparation builds confidence and your presence builds connection. So if you are truly authentic to who you are, you know, everybody will know it.
There's a lot here. There's a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. Who do you want to be? What do you walk away from a class that you've gained? Like, um,
Wow, that is a big, I think for a lot of people, that is a big, scary question.
mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's like, like, do you feel comfortable having an emotional journey on the podium? Are you comfortable being vulnerable? Are you comfortable showing up on shitty days? You know, it's like I had a friend just recently post a video where she's like, this is me going through a breakup. This is me doing this. And it's consistency, right? Like we notice consistency. And yeah, I think I really try to focus with coaches on like being consistent of like who you are. It doesn't mean you have to be, you know, perfect every single day and your 100% is going to look different every single day. But I will never show up to a class and not give 100% of what I've got, period. And I don't want to train people that aren't willing to do the same thing. So,
Oh, and if anybody were to see any of the clips on social that you post of your class, they would know. They would see
yeah,
that.
uh-huh. 100% out there every single time through injuries, through back problems, through, you know, heartbreaks, through pets passing away, through businesses crashing. I'm consistent the same because that's what people need. That's what I needed. And I'm going to give people what I needed.
If totally optional,
Yeah.
you would like to drop a featured class in tandem with this episode in the app, something to
Hmm.
share.
Yes.
What is it? Point people to it. What is it about?
Man, there's some really good ones in there. I'm trying to think the name of one of, let me look because I can't remember the name of my favorite class that I have in there. Beautiful Things, I'm very proud of that one. I love Beautiful Things. Also, I would say the other one that I really love, Speak Your Mind. Love. Rave Ride will always be perfection. I promise. The energy. Ah, but you want to speak your mind? You want to let some shit out? Listen to that one too. Obviously, people have been loving the Noah Khan ride,
It's number 8
which,
on Shoutout Q2 of 2026 of many thousands
uh,
of classes, unique classes that
I
instructors have played
love
throughout the
that.
quarter.
I'm always surprised. I think that's something for me. Like, I'm always very humbled and I'm always very surprised by even like where I'm at in the industry because, again, I've never taught to have the hardest class to be the best fitness coach. Like, I just want to be what I needed, you know?
So good. If people want to find you on social media or they want to reach out, how can they find you?
The Brianne Murphy, Brianne Murphy on Instagram is the best way to find me. Also, you can follow Reps and Restore. So it's just Reps and Restore on Instagram. We have so much amazing content. I actually have a really cool event coming up next month where we're partnering with Red Bull, Lululemon. I have a tattoo artist. I have a piercer. I have a permanent jewelry girl,
Woo!
and we are throwing a raging party. Here in Fort Collins. So I'm pretty excited about that one. Oh, and you know what? I didn't talk about something that I'm super excited that I've gotten to use my spin background and my music background is that I started creating a tempo class. So I'm now teaching It's not HIIT, it's not mat Pilates. It's kind of a combination of both with strength. So, like heavier weights, but all to the rhythm, all to the beat. And so that's what I'm going to be launching at that event in Lululemon.
I
Yeah.
love that. I want more strength to the rhythm. I love to
That's
see
the
it.
only way I'll do it. It's literally the only way. Like, I don't want to do anything that's not fun. So if it's not fun, don't invite me. Number one. Number two, if I can't do movement to the beat, I can't do it. Like, I will always find the beat. I will always find it.
Amazing. Well, I think that is the perfect note to wrap up on.
Yes.
Thank you, Bri. Thank you for being
You're
the
amazing.
impact, the inspiration, the pack leader. Truly, truly, truly. Yeah, it's an honor to support your practice and have you on the pod.
It's an honor to be a part of your wolf pack. I love you. You're amazing.
You're amazing. I love you.
And let me know how everything goes and keep in touch if you need more from me.
Yeah.